Hey guys, it's SoCover95. Welcome to another random Wi-Fi battle. Yeah. I lead with my shift tree. And he's gonna start with his Tyranitar. I was like, why do you have to lead off with the Tyranitar? What the heck happened? Oh. Okay, so his Sandstream really kicks in. I just brick break it. I bet he wasn't expecting a brick break, 4 times effective right there. I'm actually surprised that doesn't knock it out because it's 4 times effective and stuff. He just goes for the fight again. Doesn't knock me out quite, and I just energy ball it and finish the Tyranitar. Oh. I get hurt by the sandstorm. He sends out his mag motor. I'm like, okay. Shift Tree's at very little HP, so if I can get off this move, then I'll be pretty good. But he heat waves me, knocks out Shift Tree, and I didn't get to use Explosion. Yep, that's what I was going to use. I was going to use Explosion. But, yeah, it didn't work. So I'll just go into my camera ups. He withdraws. I'm like, no, do not send in what I think you're going to send in. He goes into his Luminion. That's what I thought he was going to go into. I just go for the rock slide. It does not much. He goes for the whirlpool. I'm like, okay, you got whirlpool? That's definitely not going to knock me out, even though it's 4 times effective. It doesn't even knock me out. So I start charging up my solar beam. I don't know what he was thinking right here, what he was about to do. So I'm like, okay, now I'm not going to be able to fire off my solar beam. But he uses Silver Wind. I'm like, what? Not very effective. You should just use Whirlpool. So I just solar beam him. Doesn't even knock him out, though. The sandstorm doesn't knock him out either. I just get hit by the Whirlpool right there. And he does another funky move. He uses bounce. I'm like, okay, seriously? Are you even trying at this moment? I try to use Earth Power, but of course he's in there. And he just gets buffeted by the sandstorm and knocks him out. I didn't like Luminion's cry. No, don't think so. He goes into his Drapion and uses Sludge Bomb. Camera takes that epically, like really, and let's go for the Earth Power here. Drapion's only weakness ground, and I'm packing it. And yep, his Drapion goes down. He goes into his Ampharos, his Cola, yeah. I was like, please use electric move, but he uses strength. I'm like, oh. He gets hurt by the sandstorm. I send in my Gengar. He withdraws and goes into his process. I'm like, dang it! I just Sludge Bomb. It was supposed to be an Ampharos. I knew I should just use Shadow Ball on the Ampharos, because then it would have been super effective on Frostlass. But Sludge Bomb's not very effective. He just goes for the crunch. I'm like, oh my goodness, no! Gengar has bad defense, and Gengar takes that pretty nicely. And I just go for the Shadow Ball, and Frostlass goes down. He sends back in his Ampharos, aka his Cola. I just Shadow Ball it. His special defense gets lowered right here. He goes for the Signal Beam. I'm like, okay, did you misclick or did you do that on purpose? But he did that on purpose, actually. I get confused, though. I'm like, no, do not hit yourself in confusion, Gengar. And I hit myself. I'm like, what? This was 3 hit points. He uses Discharge. Well, down goes Gengar. I send in my Lopunny. ice beam it because it does have a special defense drop. But it lives with like 1 hit point, and he goes for the electro ball. I'm like, okay, that's not going to do anything because I'm like faster than him. And Ampharos is really slow. And Sandstorm just knocks out the Ampharos. It's Cola, man. He goes into his Magmotor. I just dizzy punch it. I'm like, get confused, you confused me. But and then he confuses me again. I'm like, no, do not do this, man. Do not do this. I'm like, don't hit yourself, don't hit yourself, don't hit yourself, and I hit myself. I'm like, what? Today is not my day, or at least this battle is not my battle. And he just goes for the lava plume. Lopunny lives, but the Sandstorm knocks. No, my Lopunny! I ruined my Masquerade. I did this on purpose. Just to like basically send it out, see what he was going to do up against it. I was like, no! Why don't you use Faint Attack? And Masquerade does go down. I was going to do there slash that turn, and yeah. I thought that Masquerade could live with like 1 HP or something. So I go to Otterhand! Not, well, that's the thing, but it's really caught on. He has to confuse me again. I'm like, oh my goodness. I know it's had like spikes and stuff on you, man, but you had to confuse me. I hit myself again. I'm like, no, do not do this, Crawdon. He goes for the Faint Attack. I'm like, okay, Heat Wave and Lava Plume would have did a ton more because the same type of attack moves, and they're just stronger moves in general. I'm like, if you hit yourself one more time, and Crawdon doesn't hit herself, and she just finish it off with a Crab Hammer, even with a critical hit. So yeah, see you in the next one.